I was heading home, but I unexpectedly saw my wife and that handsome guy playing around in the pool. Anger surged through me, but I didn't confront them. I quietly entered their room, and the sight inside was a mess. My blood pressure shot up instantly. Still, I didn't rush to confront them. I quietly went back home and waited for my wife to return. As soon as she walked in, I confronted her about her betrayal. Gunshots rang out from outside, but before the police could arrive, I quickly picked up the bullet shells from the floor. Then I threw a few other shells down. When the police knocked and asked what happened, I fired a shot, scaring them away. Afterward, I threw my blood-stained clothes into the furnace and burned them, cleaned the blood from myself, but I didn't leave the house. I was waiting for the police to show up, because the handsome guy my wife was dating was a cop from this area. I let the officer come in alone to talk, not knowing that the person lying on the floor was his lover. He didn't recognize me until he saw the photo on the wall. Then he realized who was lying there. The cop rushed over, and luckily my wife was still breathing. The officer saw me, and I aimed to shoot him. I rushed forward swiftly and wrestled the gun away. At the same time, the officers outside rushed in, and they took me into custody, just like that. I fell into their hands, but strangely, I didn't hire any lawyer. Even though I heard my wife's lawyer was very skilled, I didn't care. Her lawyer's win rate was 97%, and with someone like that, I shouldn't have a chance. Even the judge advised me to get a lawyer, since, with my wealth, I could afford someone better, but I didn't pay any attention to lawyers. I insisted on defending myself, and demanded the trial begin quickly. I seemed to be certain that nothing would happen to me. The officer quickly brought in the lawyer, hoping he'd take the case seriously. He felt I might have a trick up my sleeve, but the lawyer was too confident, believing no case was too hard for him. The next day, the lawyer visited my house, trying to find evidence of my crime. To his shock, the bullet that killed my wife didn't belong to me. My gun had never been fired, and my bullets weren't even the type used for murder. After the incident, my hands had no traces of gunpowder. My clothes had no bloodstains, and my gun didn't have my fingerprints. There were 4 shots fired in the room, but the police couldn't find a single bullet. There were shells, but without fingerprints, they couldn't link them to me. It was then that the lawyer realized where my confidence came from. I had planned everything perfectly, leaving no evidence to incriminate me. Everyone knew I was the killer, but without evidence, how could they convict me?